Hello, and thank you for joining me. I am Dr. Stacey Cooper, health and wellness expert at drstaceycooper.com, and today I want to share with you some information in regards to eliminating cravings. When I talk with my patients and clients, one of the biggest challenges that they have is cravings. And it truly is easy to eliminate these, and it does not have to do with willpower. It has nothing to do with willpower. It actually has to happen with how your brain is functioning. And so when we choose to fuel our bodies differently, it is so easy to eliminate cravings. Just people don't tell you about this, therefore you don't know how to do this. Good morning, Ellen. Thanks for joining me here. So I would like to share with you a free webinar that I'm going to be hosting just coming up really soon. So you can check out the pre-training videos that are already loaded right there for you for free. You can just go to gethealthyquickstart.com, enter your name and email address right there, and it will immediately open up there for you. And there's 2 pre-training videos and a small PDF right there that you can download. Take a peek at those videos. There's some great information in regards to the 5 steps that I use in the Get Healthy Quick Start Virtual Bootcamp that you can start to implement right now in regards to fueling your body better for better body function. So just pop on over there to gethealthyquickstart.com, and there you will see the information. Now I will also tell you that when you are on that page and it opens up for you, there is the link in the bottom right hand corner that you can click on to register with Webinar Jam. And that is the platform I'll be using for the free webinar that I'm going to be hosting just coming up in a few days. But you do need to click that link and register so that Webinar Jam can send you the link for the live presentation that's coming up. So that's where I will share with you all of the steps about eliminating cravings, the mechanism behind what happens in the satiation center in the brain. Satiation center, you say. Most people don't even know that there is one. Yes, it is located in your brain. I also share with you how that system gets fueled and how it changes the chemical pathways that are occurring in your brain. And this is why your willpower cannot overrule that chemical reaction unless you start to change how you fuel your body. Now, I'm talking about fueling your body naturally, the way that it was created and the way that it was intended. This is not about starting to utilize chemicals and stimulants and processes. It's all about removing those things from your system. We also talk about diets and the difficulty with diets and actually why diets don't work. We're going to discuss those mechanisms too. So everything is free. You can jump on the live page there. Just go to gethealthyquickstart.com, enter your name and email address there. And as I say, the training is already loaded right there for you. So if you're ready to get started right now to fuel your body better for enhanced vitality, that's where you're going to find the information. We are not talking about adding any potions, bars, shakes, things like that. We're talking about whole foods, swapping out the inflammatory foods and getting your body to function better. Now, I was just talking with a friend of mine this morning who stopped in, and he's been away for a little bit, and we talked about at length how to swap out bad fuels for your body and add in those great, healthy, naturally inflammatory reducing foods which are so healthy and tasty, but enable your body to function so much better. He was astounded at how his body's feeling, how his joints are not aching, how he is experiencing so much better body function. We even talked about bowel movements too, because your elimination system is a key factor in how your body is metabolizing the food that you're providing, how it's actually absorbing what you're providing, and what actually is just passing straight on through and right out the other end. And if your body is not absorbing what you're providing for it, then you're actually in a starvation mode, and your body is feeding on itself. Therefore, your metabolism is actually going to shut down because your body is going to want to go into survival mode rather than regeneration and recuperation mode and replenishing mode. So when you're fueling your body well, This is when your body can utilize what you're providing for it. It can regenerate, it can rejuvenate, and this is where you find the fountain of youth, where you don't feel your age, where you don't feel the aches and pains that others may, because you're reducing those inflammatory foods. And inflammation in the body leads to swelling in the cells, and the cells are just like a water balloon. And so they can only stretch so far before they're going to burst. Now, the cells in your body don't generally burst to that degree, but you can understand that when that cell membrane has to stretch that far with that inflammation in each cell, that causes pain. So if you really want to turn around the processes in your body, you need to start to fuel it naturally. You need to start to remove those inflammatory foods. And that's what I'm going to share with you on the free webinar that's coming up. So as I mentioned, just go to gethealthyquickstart.com. Enter your name and email address there, and you can get started right away and see some of the steps that I'm talking about and that I will be sharing with you in depth on the free webinar coming up in just a few days. So when we're talking about inflammation, when you remove those inflammatory foods, that then leads to less pressure in the cells, which leads to improved joint function, which leads to reversal of degenerative processes. Now, we're not just talking about inflammatory processes in the joints, we are talking about all of the processes in the body. So when we're talking about whole foods and complex fuels that you're providing for your system, this helps to reverse the degenerative disease of diabetes. When you start to incorporate meditation and relaxation processes and reducing other inflammatory foods in your system, this helps to reverse the degenerative process of heart disease and blood pressure issues. When you start to swap out bad fats for great healthy fats that I'll be showing you in this free webinar, that is when you will start to reverse the degenerative disease of cholesterol issues and fatty liver. So when you start to take medications to support the symptoms of these degenerative processes, no healing is happening at all. But when you start to change the environment that you're providing for your body and you start to fuel your body differently, your body adapts to the environment that you provide. And when you make these changes that I will show you on this free webinar, that is when you will start to experience healing from the inside. Now we're getting to the cause of the issues. Now we're getting to the source. Now is when your body can start to utilize the new fuels that you're providing from your system that I will share with you in the free webinar. And that is when you can begin to reverse degenerative diseases. Because so much of what we're seeing now, so prevalent in our society, especially in North America, in regards to obesity, diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure issues, arthritis, pain and inflammation in the body, basically degenerative function of any system in your body can be aided when you start to eliminate the inflammatory foods which lead to degeneration of the systems and processes in your body. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in the webinar. So when you start to implement these easy steps, and when you start to understand what actually happens on the inside of your body, that's what I love to teach. I love to let people become aware of what actually happens on the inside, because oftentimes you eat the Big Mac, it goes in one end, comes out the other, and you don't give a thought as to what happens in the middle. And it's what happens in the middle is what I share with you. Now, when you have that understanding as to what that food actually does on the inside, and you know that you want your outcomes to be different than what you're experiencing right now, if you continue to do the same thing over and over, what are you going to get but the same results? So if you start to make changes in regards to how you are fueling your body, this is when you are going to start to see changes. And I can tell you as well, your body is not tied to your genetics. Just because mom and dad had it or grandma and grandpa had it does not necessarily mean that you will have it too. Now, having said that, if you continue to provide exactly the same environment that mom and dad and grandpa did, then most likely your outcomes are going to be the same as theirs because you didn't change a thing. But you do have control. Every single moment of the day, you have control of the thoughts that you think You have control of the foods that you consume. You have control of the activities that you do, whether it be exercise or not. You have control of the people around you, who you expose yourself to. You have control about the energy that surrounds you. And you have control of the energy that you output as well. So when you start to make different choices and implement different into your day, that is when you are going to start to see different results. So I invite you to check out my website. Just go to gethealthyquickstart.com. That's where the free training is already loaded there for you in regards to fueling your body better. And I invite you to join me for the upcoming webinar that's going to be in just a few days, the Get Healthy Quick Start Virtual Bootcamp. That's where I'm going to share with you about cravings, the mechanism that happens in the brain, and why your willpower cannot overrule that. It's a chemical process, but when you fuel your body differently, you can shut off that chemical pathway and cravings will be eliminated for good. Because cravings lead to consumption of needless calories. So here you are buying more foodstuffs. I will not call it food because real food does not create cravings. Foodstuffs is what creates cravings. Food manufacturers know this. That's why they continue to create their foodstuffs in the way that they do. And when you consume these things, that triggers the pathway in the brain, and that is what then leads you to crave more. Then what happens, of course, is you go rummaging through the cupboard, find that food stuff, and consume needless calories, which are not healthy for you. It leads to increased weight gain, leads to inflammation in the body, leads to decreased function, pain, and decreased health. It also leads to you spending more money. They get rich, you get fat, and your body's not functioning well. So I invite you to check out the Get Healthy Quick Start Virtual Bootcamp. Go to gethealthyquickstart.com and start to learn some simple steps that you can implement right now, today. And you can join us on the upcoming webinar. When you go to that page and it opens for you, just click in the bottom right corner. That's the link for the free webinar. You do need to register with Webinar Jam in order to get the link for the live training that I'm going to be sharing with you on this and so much more. I love to share with you what happens on the inside of your body. So when you have that understanding and you know that you want your outcomes to be different, then you can start to implement these simple steps to change how your body's going to function, how your life is going to come about, and what your end result is going to be. So join me on our upcoming webinar. Just go to gethealthyquickstart.com, enter your name and email address there. And I would love to hear any questions, comments, concerns that you have in regards to how your body's functioning, how your diet's been going. I'm also going to discuss on the webinar about diets, their background, and why they fail. So please join me there. And I would love to hear about how your diet resolution panned out. Here we are, day 28, and it takes 21 days to create a new habit. Have you made 21 consecutive days so far? That's a question, because we're almost to the next month. And how did things work out for you? And diets are built to fail. So when you are fueling your body better naturally and you're meeting all the requirements that your body needs, your satiation center will be satisfied and you won't crave and you will no longer need a diet, because now you will be consuming healthy, nutritious foods that are satisfying the stretch receptors in your stomach and the density receptors that are in your stomach that relay the information to your brain. And these are some of the tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you on that webinar. So it will then be your food that will satisfy you, which will then enable you to back away from the plate, and you will not need to count calories. You will not need to portion control. You will just need to fuel your body the way that it was meant to be fueled naturally. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So many of my clients and patients have truly appreciated this eye-opening experience, because it has opened up a whole new world for them. It gives them freedom, because now they're not tied to the charts and the diets and the restrictions and that reward cascade in the brain. It enables diets to fail because you ate that stupid salad all week long And on the weekends, you deserve a reward because the reward cascade is already built in the brain. And so then what happens? Oh, cheat day. Then how do you feel? Guilt? Yeah, not a good feeling. And why would you want to do that? So when you are fueling your body well all the time, and it is well nourished and that satiation center is satisfied, every meal is a reward. There is no denial. There is no elimination or deprivation. And it's that deprivation that stimulates the reward cycle. So a study's been done, actually. It was really interesting because it contained two different groups of walkers. People who were instructed that they were going to take a 5-kilometer walk. One group was told that this was for exercise and this was something that they needed to do, and it was a job, so you're going to go out and exercise. And at the end, in the community room when they gathered back, there was snacks and treats and all that sort of thing in the room when they were finished. And they were told that. The other group was told, okay, here's the path that we've mapped out for you. We'd like you to enjoy your time out there, have fun, and we'll see you when you get back. The second group, who did not view exercise as being a chore, consumed less of the junk and the treats because the exercise itself was the reward. Think about it. So if you're exercising and you hate what you're doing, you are already sabotaging what you're trying to accomplish. So if you hate what you're doing, change it up to something that you love, because then that activity will be the reward all in itself. Not only will you be exercising your heart, mind, and your body, but you will be enjoying the exercise, which satisfies that reward cascade. Now it's a win-win-win, because then you don't have to go home and eat that piece of rotten chocolate cake that's going to create pain and inflammation, blow your diet, and lead to more guilt and dissatisfaction with where you are. We have enough bad self-talk going on in our heads. We don't need to incorporate more by beating up on ourselves for perceived failures. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the foods that you're putting in your body and how it's stimulating your brain. So that's what I'm going to share with you, is how to eliminate that process from happening so that the foods you now are going to put into your body will only satisfy the satiation center. They will not stimulate that craving response, and they will enable you to enjoy every single morsel that you're putting into your mouth. You won't have to count calories. You won't have to watch portion control like you are with diets, and you will be able to have freedom, because you will bring much more joy and health and love into your life, and that in itself will be its reward. So any questions that you have, I would love to hear from you. Just pop them right in the comment box right here. Anything that you heard here today, you can always check out the free information. Just go to gethealthyquickstart.com, enter your name and email address right there. That way you can receive an email notification when the webinar is going to happen. When you enter your name and email, you will receive free access to the pre-training videos that are already there. I encourage you to check them out, and you can start to implement those steps right now, today. There's a small PDF on that page as well in the right-hand column. It's only 4 pages, so you can download that. Thanks for the love and the likes. Thank you, Annette. I will see you on the webinar. And when you download the PDF, you can follow along, fill in the blanks, and that will help to increase your learning as you're making it more concrete in your mind and when you're taking notes. And then you can also continue to use that PDF for the webinar, because I'm going to be sharing so much more information with you, because we will have about an hour's time on that webinar. Morning, Brad. Thanks for joining me. So I encourage you, if you're just popping on right now, just pop back to the beginning. Hear the information that I shared with you in regards to reducing inflammation in your body, how to satisfy the satiation center, which is responsible for cravings. And I'm going to go in deep detail, understandable detail, so that you can all put it right into place immediately after the webinar, so that you understand what happens inside the body and inside the brain and become aware. Because when you choose to want a different outcome, to want to have a different path and to not be tied to your genetics, then this is the way to do it. Start to take some steps to provide a different environment for your body so that your body can adapt to the new things that you are providing for it, and this is when your outcomes will change. So thanks so much for joining me, and we will hear from you soon. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.